Hey everybody, welcome to Game Timers. This is Max, and I want for you to join me on a little journey. Um, right now, we are in this gaming, competitive shooter, gaming meta of battle royals. You have your Call of Duties, you have your PUBGs, you have your Apex Legends, and it has really taken over. Oh, and Fortnite. Let's not forget Fortnite. It has really taken over the whole gaming scene, the whole gaming genre. Like you cannot escape it. And I like them just fine. I mean, I've played all of them. I've played tons of battle royals. I the main one I play now is Apex Legends, and it's a fun game. It's fine. But before this battle royal meta, we have to go back. We have to go back where in the land of forever time, the land before time, the land before this meta generation. We had your traditional shooters. You had your traditional FPS, your Call of Duties, your Halos. Well, Call of Duty is like Modern Warfare, Black Ops. You had your Titanfall, which is the subject of this video and one of my favorite games of all time. Now, before we jump back into Titanfall, there's something that is kind of cool that I think a lot of people know, some people don't, is that essentially Titanfall is the dad, is the father of Apex. Almost all the guns, almost all the... Hey, hold on one second. Hey, Dave, can we get like an obligatory like clip put in here? I don't know, something like a streamer or a big time gamer or something yelling at the mic in the webcam about him being a father or a dad of something of some sort. We can? Okay, put that in there.
I'm your fucking dad! I'm your father, Evan! You get me? You hear me? I'm your daddy! I'm your fucking dad!
Titanfall is the predecessor of Apex. It pretty much all the guns, almost all the abilities, everything has been ripped out of the Titanfall game, like Titanfall 1 and 2, and then put into Apex. And that's kind of where you get a lot of their, mythos, a lot of their universe, their guns and everything. And that's a really cool little snippet, really cool kind of thing about it. But if we need to look back, we need to go back in time and take a look at where it came from. The game itself, Titanfall, and why it was successful, why it's so good, and some of the controversy around it. But yeah, man, let's just jump back. Let's go take a look, and let's jump back about a decade. And is it a decade? Maybe a little less, but this, get some fond memory, get some fond looking clips and views and everything of what made this game so cool. So hang on, we'll be right back. Okay, so we're going to jump back a few years with Respawn Entertainment wanting to create a shooter that was similar to its peers, but different in a way that it brought something new to the table. It wasn't that traditional, here, pick lane A, pick lane B, pick lane C, and see what happens. A lot of Call of Duty games and Halo games where you pretty much bashed your head against the wall running through, path A and then getting sniped or getting someone beat you to a crate or someone beat you to a point. They had the advantage. And then let me respawn. Now let me go back to point A. Okay, that didn't work. Now let me go to point B. Okay, that didn't work. Okay, let me go to point C. Okay, C worked. Let me get around. Oh, I died. It was just this constant little, pathing game that I think started to wear thin. Respawn created this game in Titanfall that not only gave you paths of path A, B, C, D, but it also gave you, well, let me wall jump, let me climb, let me get on top of buildings. So now I can go over A, B, and C, or I can go around A, B, and C, and I can take these other paths, and there's more ways to get from A to B. There's more ways to get from point A to point B. And we got more to it. They decided, hey, let's bring in these big, giant 3-4-story mech suits, these Titans that you can pilot, you can jump in, and not only can you have pilot to pilot or guy to guy combat, you could have these pilot to Titan or Titan to Titan combat that added this new element, a fun element to this game that was not seen in this shooter era of the Call of Duties and the Halos. Of course, you had vehicle combat, you had tank versus tank, but there was something different about these Titans that were unique and special. From all the different weapons to the different customizations to the different sizes of Titans, you had your small Titan who could dash around a lot more, had less armor. Your medium-sized Titan had the mix of both the smaller Titan and the ogre, the big Titan. So you could customize which kind of Titan you played, which type of equipment he had, which type of gun he had. Then you could customize your pilot. What type of gun did he have? What type of abilities did he have? There was so much customization, so much different elements that you could toy and tinker around with, and it was always a new experience on each game. And the maps themselves were top-notch. They were really good quality maps that lend to pilot fighting, to Titan fighting, to both. A mixture of high-rise buildings, to swamps, to you name it. It was involved, and they were very, very quality, fun experiences. Now, Titanfall did have its fair share of criticism. It did catch a lot of flack from the gaming community or from critics that, oh, you don't have a campaign, oh, you don't have a traditional campaign like Call of Duty or like Halo. Well, it wasn't meant to be that. It wasn't meant to have this grand campaign that everybody played for about a couple hours and then they spent the rest of the time playing the multiplayer, played the PvP. I don't get why everybody just had to have a campaign, because, okay, let's be honest as gamers, let's be honest as consumers. We're not playing Halo. You play Halo, you want to have a really nice campaign and a really nice multiplayer. When you're Respawn, when you're Titanfall, their primary concern was, let's put out the best straight up multiplayer experience we can get. Let's put 95% of our resources into a good quality multiplayer game. And why was that bad? Why was that bad? People thought it was. People assumed it was. Oh, and they knocked the game. And if they would have just played it, so, what are people playing now? Apex? It doesn't have a campaign. It has straight multiplayer. Warzone? It's known for its multiplayer. Fortnite? It's known for its multiplayer. Not everybody doesn't go say, well, Fortnite would have been a good game if it had its this traditional campaign. It did have a campaign, Save the World, but that's not a necessarily campaign. But all right, we're getting lost in the weeds. Multiplayer is what people spend the money on. If you say, I have a really great campaign and a terrible multiplayer, for shooters, they're going to say, oh, this game was terrible, the multiplayer was terrible. But somebody said, oh, I have a so-so campaign, but a great multiplayer, then that's what people are going to remember it for, and that's what people are going to pay to play it. Let's be real. Let's quit, beating around the bush on that. With that being said, Titanfall was not a perfect game. It had its flaws, it had its shortcomings. It did not feature a campaign, but that was not its limitations. It exceeded expectations. It broke through a ceiling that some viewed that did not exist. It put something in front of our eyes that we were missing, that Call of Duty could not get out there for us, that Halo did not get out there for us. We were sucked into this game that was amazing. It was so good that even Call of Duty started ripping off elements of the game and inserting into theirs, like the wall running or the double jumping and stuff like that. Other games borrowed from it and put into theirs and created better experiences. The Titan element, I don't think, has been used again other than in Titanfall 2. I've heard rumors and whispers that they want to try to incorporate something like that in Apex. It won't happen. But there's just so many good things that Titanfall did for the gaming and shooter world that it cannot be understated or underestimated. Apex Legends has succeeded by the foundation that Titanfall built. The IP, I guess. It's used so many things from Titanfall and created this great game that we all like. So I've raved enough about this game. I miss it. Now, Titanfall 2 for me was a little bit of a letdown. I did not enjoy it as much as I did the original Titanfall for different reasons. We'll get into that at a later date, but the original Titanfall for me was a A+, one of the best games I've ever played as far as a multiplayer PvP experience. I just can't. I'm lost for words. I want to say more about it. I want to go into bigger detail, but this was more of just a remembrance. This is more of just a ode to. This was such a great game, and I remember it very fondly. Best game, best shooter of the past 10 years. Hope you guys like this video. I really like going back and re-experiencing some of these older games and looking at them from fresh eyes and seeing what they meant to me at the time, seeing what they meant to gaming at the time, and see where gaming has come since then. This concept. If you like Game Timers, please hit us with a subscribe, hit us with a like, send this to somebody else you think might like it. We're trying to grow, we're trying to get bigger, we're trying to get better. We want to put out good content for you guys. We want to just keep getting better and learning and growing. And we need your help. We love you guys. Hit us up. Catch us on the next video. And we're out.